All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode on ADHD Acres. Last time we talked about the Arduino relay, how to program it, and how to make one of these turn on. But if you're like me, you want to make something turn on just by pushing a button. You don't want to go in and code something. So let's add a button to it. Why not? This is the button we'll be using. That little guy right there. It's a momentary switch, meaning that when you push it, it turns on. When you let off, it turns off. We're going to put our button on our breadboard, like so. That's our button. But it's not connected to anything. Let's change that. We have our 10K resistor. This is going to be our pull-up resistor. We're going to put it from one leg of the button to another column. Now, if you remember correctly, these right here go to our digital pins, okay? We have the one that's closest to the relay is the ground. That pin goes to digital pin 6, and that is 5 volts power, okay? So, let's hook up our power. It's going to be 5 volts going to one leg of the resistor, okay? Let's go from our digital pin, which is the middle one. We're going to go to the other leg of the resistor, okay? Then we're going to take our ground, we're going to go to the other leg of our button, okay? The button's hooked up. It's that simple. Let's go ahead and plug in our relay, or plug in our Arduino, and let's get it programmed so we can test and make sure that it works. Okay, we're going to go ahead and put in most of our programming. Well, I won't say most of our program. We're going to set it up to where we can finish programming in a second. So let's do an int. We're going to say button 2 because we're going to be controlling relay 2. So let's call it button 2. And that is going to digital pin 6. Let's do another int. Relay underscore 2. And if you remember, relay 2 is on pin 7. Or pin 7. Okay. Let's do another int. We're going to call this one button read. We're not going to add a value to this. We're just going to declare it. Let's do another int. Let's do a DT for delay time. Let's make that 1/4 of a second or 250 milliseconds. And finally, one more int, BR for baud rate, and let's make that the trusty 9600. With me so far? Cool. Awesome. Come down here. We need to set up our pins. So we're going to do a pin mode. And button 2. Oh, let's move that out of the way. Button 2 is going to be an input because we're going to be reading from it. Awesome. Our next pin mode is going to be relay 2, and we're going to be sending a signal out, so that's going to be an output. With me so far? Awesome. That's all the pin modes we need. No, I messed up. What did I do wrong? I need to come up here and start a serial monitor. So let's do a serial dot begin. Yep. I'm going to do BR for baud rate. Oh, there we go. All right. That's for our setup. Now let's come down here to the loop. Let's go ahead and read our button. So button underscore 2 read is going to be equal to, we're going to do a digital read, and that's going to be, we're going to read button 2. Now let's print it out. What are we printing? Well, we're printing whether or not button 1 or button 2 is pressed. If it's not pressed, we're going to get a 1. If it is pressed, we're going to get a 0. So let's serial.print ln. We're going to be printing button 2 read. Does that make sense? Awesome. Let's check our programming. Let's make sure we got it. Oh, I misspelled it. Look at there. I do this for y'all. Let's try it again. Button 2 read. Did I mess with my notes? I did. I didn't clear it up here. That's okay. Let's fix that. Still don't like it. Does not like. Oh, y'all yelling at me. I'm just not on it today. That's okay. Let's try this one more time. See if it likes that. All right, it seems to like that. So let's do this. Get our view of Arduino back, and let's make sure we're connected to the right one. COM3, Arduino Uno, awesome. Let's upload it. All right, it seemed to like it. Let's open up our serial monitor. All right, we got a 1. We have 1. Awesome. Let's push the button. We have 0. 1. 0. All right, our button is working. Cool. But we just have a button working. Why don't we get our relay working too? Let's do some wiring. Same way we did it before. We're going to take our orange. We're going to go from our positive rail on our breadboard over to the common. We'll screw that down. Whoop. There we go. Now, let's take our red. We're going to go to the normally open. Why do we want to normally open? Well, I don't want it to automatically come on when the relay gets programmed. Go to normally open. And I forgot to tell you. Sorry about this. I'm not going to be using that little fan anymore. I'm going to be using this bad boy right here. It's a slightly bigger fan, still works off 5 volts, and it's got this little Grove connector on it. So we're going to go take our red wire, and we're going to go plug it into the red side of our Grove connection. We're going to take our black of our Grove connection, slide that in there. We're going to go to the ground rail. Go to the ground rail of our breadboard. Easy enough, right? And that's it. That's it. Let's go ahead and turn that on. As you can see, nothing's happening. I can push the button all day long, and the fan's not going to turn on. So let's fix that. Let's come down here. Let's make this bigger. Let's come back down here to our loop. Let's close out our serial monitor first. Let's come down here to our loop. All right. Let's make it work. Now, how are we going to make it work? Well, we're going to start with an if statement. If button 2 read equals equal 1, start with our curlies for this if statement. We're going to do a digital write relay 2. I'm going to make that low. Okay. Remember, 1 means the button is not pressed. So we don't want the relay to turn on when the button's not pressed. So we're going to make it low. Okay. Let's come down here. We'll do another if statement. If the button 2 equal 0, then we're going to do digital write relay 2. We're going to make that. We're going to make that high. Remember, because we want, when we push the button, it's going to make it 0. It's going to show up as 0. And we want that to turn our relay on when we push the button. So let's check our code. It seems to like it. So let's go ahead and get this out of the way. Let's start our let's not start our serial monitor just yet. Let's load it up. It seems to like it. Yep, it likes it. Turn on the serial monitor. Serial monitor's on. We have a 1. Nothing's on. Let's press the button, see what happens. You know what? I didn't do it right. I just said button 2. Let's try. See what that does. It likes it. It likes it. Serial monitor. Let's do that. 1. Let's try it now. There we go. Button's pushed, it turns on. Button's released, it turns off. It's turned on. It's turned off. I don't know about y'all, but I think that's pretty cool. So, if you have any questions, please put them down in the comments. Let me know. Until next time, everybody, have fun, stay safe, and don't be afraid to try something new.